In this video, I want to talk about 5 things that every life coach should know. And these are the sort of things that they probably don't tell you when you take other courses on how to be a life coach. Okay, the first thing is you'll probably feel like a fraud when you first start out. I know that's a strange thing to say, but it's perfectly normal to feel this way. Life coaching isn't a real job in many people's eyes, but it is a real job. You help people and you provide a useful service and you get paid for it. But a lot of people have a problem with that. A lot of people, they may think, well, it's not a real job. You don't go out 9 to 5. You don't wear business clothes. You don't go to an office. You don't have a very sort of structured way of earning a living. And so some people think, well, it's not a real job. Well, actually, it is a real job. Now, just like every new startup, you'll probably find it hard going in the beginning. And you might catch some flack. People say, "Oh, making any money yet?" Or that sort of thing. But once you start getting a few clients and you start building up your business, you'll find people's attitudes will change and they'll generally change for the better. So don't worry if at the beginning you start to doubt yourself and think, well, am I really qualified for doing this? My life's a mess, so how can I tell other people to live their life? But those sort of feelings are perfectly normal. Okay, number 2, don't try to be an agony aunt. It's not your job to dish out advice. Because giving advice is trying to impose your vision of what your client should be doing. It's not up to you to get involved in the day-to-day running of the client's life. That's not what a life coach is for. Life coaching is about objectivity, it's about structure, and it's about empowerment. It's not about instruction or indoctrination, and clients must be given the power to help themselves. Offering advice, opinions, and judgments would undermine the basic principles behind life coaching. There's a world of difference between being an instructor and being a guide. An instructor shows a person exactly what to do. A guide provides the tools and support that a person needs to do something for themselves. So a life coach is a guide, not an instructor. Now, everybody has the capability to adjust the limits of their own perspective. Your job as a life coach is to help people to open their minds and achieve their objectives. And you must help people to find their own way, the one that's best for them, not the one that you select for them to follow. Okay, number 3, you need to find a niche to be successful as a life coach. Just like in every business, you need to find a specialized niche to operate in. Being a generalist is a recipe for disaster. You can't help everybody with everything. So what sort of life coaching niches are there, and what sort of ones should you be thinking about? Well, there are lots of them. Here's just a few. You can help people with their business life, family life, child rearing, love life, relationships, motivation, and so on. But you'll notice that each of these niches requires a different set of skills. Your business life is going to be different from child rearing, and your love life is going to be different from family life. So you see, each one is different slightly. So you do need to concentrate on one particular niche at a time in order to become expert at it. Okay, number 4, and this is something that not a lot of people think about when they go into life coaching or any other form of coaching, really. And that is that you need to provide products as well as services to generate a decent income. You see, providing services takes time. And you'll find that there are periods of inactivity between the times when you're providing the service. You can only do one thing at a time when you're providing a service. And particularly if you're going to do one-on-one life coaching, then you can only help one client for each particular block of sessions. And even highly paid services like motivational speaking are not required all that often. You might hear a story about some highly paid motivational speaker, and let's say they get paid $10,000 to do a seminar or something like that only takes 3 or 4 hours to do. And you might think, wow, I could do one of those a week, $10,000 a week. Well, then you find that, well, actually, they only do maybe 2 a year. Well, that's only $20,000, and all of a sudden it's not quite so highly paid. So you do need to be able to have some means of bringing in some income when you're not actually out there earning it by providing the service. So what sort of products are we talking about here? Well, first of all, we're talking about books. And they can be regular books, or they can be ebooks, or they can be Kindle books. You can do audio products, and these can be MP3 audio downloads, or they can be audio products on CDs. You can do videos that feature yourself just speaking to camera, or you can have more professional videos that have camera and graphics, or you can have graphics and a voiceover like this video. And finally, you can have self-help and study courses, and these are more structured, and you probably won't want to start launching these until you've been a life coach for a while, because you can draw on your experience of helping clients for the information and the pace and everything that you want to put into a self-help or a study course. Now, in addition to boosting your income, these things help to establish your credibility as a life coach. In fact, a printed book in particular can establish you as an expert in many people's eyes. Okay, finally, number 5. You're going to need a significant online presence to stand out in a very crowded field. So you're going to need a website, definitely. You're going to need a blog. You're going to need a newsletter that you send out to your potential clients on a regular basis. You're also going to need a pretty extensive social media presence. You're going to need a Facebook page, and you're going to need a Twitter feed. And of all these, I would say that the most important ones, the ones you really want to concentrate on the most, are your blog, your newsletter, and your Twitter feed. They are the ones that will probably get you the most exposure and probably generate the most clients. Now, some potential clients might be a bit bashful about approaching you. There is still a bit of a stigma. Some people equate life coach with, I don't know how to live my life properly, and that equals failure. Now, that's not true. We live in more enlightened times today than years ago, perhaps. But that is still something that some people might have at the back of their mind. So you need to be able to counter that. So you need to put plenty of useful information out into the public domain to encourage potential clients to take things further. And this further establishes your credibility, and it makes you more approachable. Especially videos that you appear in, because then people can see that you are a real person. You're not some big corporation. You are who you say you are. Oh, and one more thing. You never stop learning. So go on courses and seminars, buy books, ebooks and videos by other life coaches, and subscribe to their blogs and newsletters, and keep expanding your knowledge, because you always keep learning. So there you go. That's 5.5 things that you ought to know if you want to be a life coach.